All right, let's practice some sentences. I'm going to prompt you with English sentences from Unit 1, Lesson 4, and it's going to be your job to try to translate these sentences into Korean. We'll start off with the first sentence, which is, I meet a sad person. Before you start, let me remind you that conjugations aren't introduced until Lesson 4, and by this point you also don't know how to translate things into the past or the future. Therefore, this sentence, both in English and in Korean, might sound a little bit unnatural, even though it is grammatically correct. The reason why it would sound a little bit unnatural is you would more likely say, I always meet a sad person on Tuesdays, or I met a sad person, or I will meet a sad person. Generally, you'd want to include more information in here, but by Lesson 4, we're merely concerned with the sentence structure. Also, for the purposes of simplicity, let's only use the informal na for the word I. You have 10 seconds to translate this sentence, and you can start now. Okay, just like the sentences that we've seen in the past previous lessons, I know that the sentence structure of this is going to be, in Korean, subject, object, verb. And what I have here is, this is the subject. The object is a sad person, or a person in general, and the verb is to meet. So I can write those down with the particles included. So 나는, and 는 is used to indicate that this is the subject of the sentence. I need to include the object, which is person, so I will put 사람. I also need to indicate that this is the object of the sentence by including the object particle 을. And now I need the verb, which is to meet, which is 만나다. We're not finished yet because I need to indicate and specifically describe the type of person that I'm meeting. In order to describe an upcoming noun like this, you need to attach this to the adjective, and the adjective is to be sad. Therefore, I need to write here 슬픈 in order to describe that this person is sad. This would read 나는 슬픈 사람을 만나다. Remember, this sentence is not conjugated, and possible conjugations of 만나다 here would be 만나 or 만나요. And also remember, it would sound more natural, I think, to conjugate this into the past or the future, or to include more information about adverbs in the sentence. However, we're merely concerned about the structure at this point. The second sentence I would like you to try is, I want a different apple. You have 10 seconds, and you can start now. Okay, we can translate this sentence. This sentence is actually the same structure as this one, where I have a subject, an object, and a verb, and I actually have, just like the sentence above, I actually have an adjective describing the object. So I want to, because my subject is the same, I can start the sentence the same way and say 나는. Now I want to talk about my object, which is an apple, and in Korean, an apple is 사과. I need to include the object particle 를 on the object. And in this case, the verb is not 만나다, but it's to want, which is 원하다. Also, I need to include the adjective in order to describe that this apple is different. To be different is 다르다, and if I want to attach this to 다르다, it becomes 다른. 다른. So what this reads is 나는 다른 사과를 원하다. Remember, this is not a conjugated verb. If you wanted to conjugate it, you could conjugate it to, for example, 원해, or you could also say 원해요. There's other conjugations as well that you will learn in lesson 6, And also in lesson 5, you will learn how to translate this into the past or the future tense. The third sentence I would like you to try is delicious water is expensive. I'll give you 10 seconds and you can translate that now. Okay, if I want to translate this sentence, I want to indicate that the subject of the sentence is water. For example, what I should do is say 물은. Now, I don't just have water. What I have is delicious water. So in this case as well, I need to describe this water as being delicious. And normally I would add this to the adjective. However, the adjective to be delicious in Korean is 맛있다. 맛있다. And a rule that you learned is anytime an adjective ends in it, like this, or ita, what you need to do is not attach this, but actually attach this to it. So it becomes 맛있는, and not 맛있은, but 맛있는. So this is the subject of the sentence, which says delicious water. And now all I need to include is the adjective expensive. So I would write simply 비싸다. Remember, even though is translates to ida in Korean, whenever I talk about an adjective and indicate that something is an adjective like this, I do not need to include ida in this sentence. And in English, this is actually contained in the adjective itself. So this sentence reads, 맛있는 물은 비싸다. Again, this is not a conjugation that you would always see, but actually because this is an adjective, this is a possible conjugation, whereas in these verbs, these are not possible conjugations, but adjectives follow a slightly different rule, and this is a possible conjugation that you could use. The fourth sentence I would like you to try is, big boats are dangerous. I'll give you 10 seconds, and you can start now. Okay, we can translate this sentence. Actually, the structure of this sentence is going to be the exact same as the structure of this sentence, but with different words. The main subject of the sentence is boats, so I will put the word 배 to refer to the boats and include the subject marker 는. However, I'm not just talking about boats, I'm talking about big boats. The word for big is 크다, so I want to say 큰, because I'm adding this to the adjective 크다. This says 큰 배, which means big boats. There is no real way to indicate plural in Korean. There is a way to do it with people, but it's not commonly done with objects, and to put a plural marker on this boats here would sound unnatural. Just like above, the words for to be, as in is, are, were, was, and all of those words, don't translate or aren't used in sentences like this in Korean. So I don't need to write the word ida to translate this word are. And just writing the adjective itself is actually includes this are or is or was or were. The word for dangerous in Korean is 위험하다, 위험하다. And remember, I don't need to include ida here. This is a possible conjugation because this is an adjective, but other possible conjugations that you will learn in the next few lessons are 위험해, 위험해요, 위험합니다, and other things like that. This full sentence reads, 큰 배는 위험하다. The fifth and last sentence, which I always like to make difficult, that I would like you to try to translate is, I too, or you could also say I also if you wanted to, I also go to the dangerous bus stop. This sentence might sound a little bit ridiculous, but remember, at this point, we're merely concerned about the structure of the sentence and don't really worry about when you might say this. I'll give you 10 seconds, and you can start now. Okay, what I want to do is indicate the subject of the sentence, which is I, so I can use the word na. But as you learned in lesson 4, you want to include the particle do to indicate that this meaning of to or also. So for example, I want to say na to, and that means me as well, or me too, or me also. The verb of the sentence is go, and where am I going to? I'm going to the bus stop. So I will write down the word for bus stop here, bus, and actually they're two separate words, but that's the word for bus. And then 정, 류, 장 refers to the stop, and this is actually just a bus stop in total here. And because I'm going to this place, I need to include the particle a to indicate that that's the place that I'm going to. I want to now write the verb go. And remember, kada is the dictionary form of the verb, and it's not conjugated in any way, not in the past, present, or future. And you'll learn about those conjugations in the next few lessons. However, this sentence right now just says, I also go to the bus stop. I want to indicate with an adjective what type of bus stop I'm going to, and I can do that by attaching this to an adjective. Specifically, the word for dangerous is 위험하다, so I should attach this to the adjective 위험하다 to describe the bus stop. So it should look like this. 위험한. The full sentence reads, 나도 위험한 버스 정류장에 가다. Possible conjugations for this could be 가 or 가요, but you will learn about those in future lessons. Well, that was fun. I hope you learned a lot.